Our story starts with a lone hero who defeated a powerful demon lord, leading to many humans relishing his triumph over this demonic entity. 3 months after the demon lord's defeat, the demon realm hosts a tournament to decide the new heir to the former ruler's throne. Further, we get introduced to Vermilio the Red. She's one of the 4 elite lords of the Empire and is the tournament's manager. We learn that a dinosaur-like creature named Han is a sub-manager for the tournament and will be working alongside Vermilio. To make sure the participants don't try to pull any rule-breaking stunts, Han confirms they've prepared the deep green contract to prevent that from happening. Han shows Vermilion some footage he recorded of the tournament's preliminary rounds. Then he states how most participants are level 45. Vermilio notices a muscular man named Helk, fighting multiple warriors. She comments about his unfathomable power as Han argues Helk could be this tournament's potential champion. Then after bringing up Helk and his human origins, Vermilio throws a tangent. One of the tournament's announcers asks Helk about his thoughts about the competition. Helk declares his hatred for humans and promises to exterminate them all, exciting the crowd. Vermilio is not buying Helk's response, and is infuriated that Helk has made it this far in the tournament. Then Han explains what happens when fighters sign the deep green contract. He states that the document nullifies all attacks against individuals outside the ring, and he confirms Helk is powerless until the tournament concludes. However, Vermilio believes Helk is using the contents of the contract to his advantage and plans to slaughter every warrior the demons have in their wake. She gets dejected when she sees Helk thank his opponent for giving him a great fight, and she explodes in rage after seeing her demonic companions worship Helk for his kindness. She orders Han to have him fight a higher-level participant, but Han confirms Helk's combat level is 99. Han plans to change the format of the next tournament match and make it a card-stacking competition. He is gonna give Helk glossy cards to put him at a disadvantage against the other participants. Meanwhile, the tournament's next round begins as Helk and the others arrive and start working on their 10-story house of cards. Helk struggles to build his 10-story house, and Vermilio is pleased. Suddenly Helk sharpens his focus, emanating strong wind which knocks all the other participants' house of cards, and builds the 10-story house of cards at lightning speed. Everyone thinks Helk should be disqualified for cheating, but a participant named Kenrose sticks up for Helk. Therefore, Helk moves on to the next round without penalty, angering Vermilio. Helk continues his reign in the competition despite Vermilio and Hans interfering with his matches behind the scenes. Even after Vermilio disguises herself as one of the judges for the cooking part of the competition, she can't help but give Helk a perfect score for his dish. While contemplating, Ista meets Vermilio and shares intel that Asta received on Helk. She states that Helk has an enormous bounty on his head and is labeled as the worst criminal in human history, as he was charged with fratricide by murdering his brother Kles, who happens to be the person who slayed Demon Lord Thor. Ista claims that Asta visited 3 different towns but found no humans nearby, despite it feels like there were humans in these places recently, but something caused them to vanish. Han rushes into Vermilio's quarters to tell her that Castle Urim, led by Demon Lord Urim, has fallen. He tells Vermilio that strange winged knights with combat levels higher than Urim led to his castle's downfall. But fortunately, the Urim's citizens are fine as Urim sacrificed himself to buy them time to escape. Vermilio tells Han to strengthen the barrier to prevent those winged knights from ruining the castle they are in. Later, Vermilio and Han plans to sabotage Helk during the tournament's racing portion. Vermilio complains to Han after seeing Helk's steed since it's making the audience like him more. The race starts and everyone gets moving except for Helk because of his steed's lack of confidence. Han tells Vermilio that they should check up on the race's frontrunners since he feels Helk has no chance of making it to the next round. They observe the competitors as they are making their way through a rough anti-Helk obstacle course. Han distinguishes Kenrose and Hyura as talented demons who have the potential to become the next Demon Lord. Suddenly the tournament's announcer Rococo points out Helk, who adds a new definition to the horse race along his encouraged puppy, upsetting Vermilio since she knew he would find a way to get back into the competition. Han says he can't do anything to sabotage him anymore. Then Vermilio devises a new scheme that will assist them in preventing Helk from moving forward since he has no issues with the course so far. However, Han's minions fail, resulting in Helk winning the race in full sprint mode while carrying his horse puppy and moving on to the next round. Vermilio is enraged by it all but calms down when Ista reports in with news about the reconnaissance squadron she sent to Castle Urim. She says the castle remains undisturbed, and the enemy doesn't plan to infiltrate it. However, her forces have made their way through the castle. They haven't spotted any humans, only 103 winged knights stationed throughout it, and their leader. Han questions how these knights had the power to defeat Lord Urim. Vermilio says they can't leave them be or let their guard down. Although she wants to rush over there and wipe the winged knights out, she's focused on preventing Helk from becoming the demon lord. Suddenly, one of the other 4 elite lords of the Empire named Azura arrives. He shares an idea with Vermilio on how they can deal with Helk and the winged knights. He suggests that they schedule the final competition to be one where they retake Castle Urim. Whoever can defeat the winged knights leader and reclaim the castle will be crowned the new demon lord. Azura says it could be a way to test Helk to see if he is worth hating or appreciating. Vermilio asks Azura what will happen if Helk is their enemy during the final battle. Then he reveals a ring he made for all the competitors to wear, which will prevent them from harming each other. However, he suggests that Vermilio accompany the competitors to intervene if things go south. Vermilio accepts the offer despite her skepticism about trusting Helk. 5 days later, Rococo hands Helk, Kenrose, Hyura, and a demon named Dorsh their rings and explains the final round's rules. Vermilio greets them under her alias and Helk introduces himself to Anne, while the others feel they have seen her somewhere before. Meanwhile, and in the tournament, finalists fight bug-type monsters that evolved from the toxin, and they are outnumbered. Dorsh promises to set up his powerful and unbreakable barrier, but doesn't inform his companions that he will need time to do so, about 30 minutes. Being enraged, Anne sets the monsters on fire with her powers. Kenrose leads the group to a resting location with a barrier around it. The gang enters the building and rests for a bit, and realizes everyone is worn out except for Helk, and wonders if Helk has formidable strength or extreme resistance that prevented him from taking damage from the toxin during his travel to the tournament's venue. Later, Hyura tells Kenrose that she thinks Anne is Vermilio in disguise and must have accompanied them to keep an eye on Helk, and overhears their conversation, and she tells Hyura and Kenrose that she isn't Vermilio, and requests they treat her equally. Helk whips up food for the others, and Anne is infuriated that she has to eat his cooking again, and that it has eggplants. Helk asks Anne if she doesn't like his cooking, but Anne eats it to avoid Helk thinking she thinks ill of her. Meanwhile, we cut to Han, Ista, and Azura playing a game. Rococo tells Azura that the tournament finalists departed from the second resting point. She says they're traveling through the underground paths to reach Urim's castle to avoid a major storm. But the problem is that the underground paths are abandoned because they have a high concentration of toxin, resulting in strong monsters that have no end to their numbers. We cut to Anne and the others battling monsters in the underground path. They run into a new world creature, and we learn they are more dangerous than normal monsters. Helk says he is familiar with the new world creatures, then he fights the beast alone, and wins, and burns the creature's corpse but questions Helk's familiarity with these beast types. After receiving swift help from Agent Kashiki, and reminds the finalists that whoever lands the finishing blow on the enemy leader will win the tournament. Despite contemplating Kenrose and Dorsh's chances at winning, Hyura believes it's best for her to keep a watchful eye on Helk. They reach Castle Urim and spot the winged knights and their leader, and after making noise, the winged knights spot them. Helk and the others engage in battle, while Hyura rushes toward their leader to win the tournament, and become the demon lord by finishing him. Suddenly the leader stands up and in a flash he decapitates her arm, leaving Kenrose and everyone shocked. And that's the end of the video. Please tell me your opinion, and like the video. Take care, and stay tuned for more videos.